Previously on Syrvivor.
Everyone, drop your butt. Winner. Score 31. A 1 in 10 chance of winning this game. Jake.
This week is real bad.
Right now, I kind of want to stick with the villains, make sure we have control over this game.
This idol clue makes no sense.
But he has no idea Jake actually has that idol.
So this is my advantage in exile. It's called the See the Script advantage.
So Derek got voted out today, and that really sucked. Derek has been one of my allies since the beginning, and I get why the villains, couldn't tell us where the vote was going because they were pretty paranoid that someone had an idol, especially Austin.
Hey. So challenge, tribal today. Tribal went really well. I used my advantage. The whole goal with me using the advantage was hopefully that the heroes would be very paranoid and might end up voting against each other, because it didn't seem like they really had a plan. So I was really hoping to, expose maybe someone playing a little more selfishly, playing for themselves and trying to, throw a vote onto someone like Austin or throw a vote onto someone like Cam, but they all stuck together and voted Abby, which sucked.
I'm glad that I made it through. I wasn't really worried about myself, and I'm glad that Austin made it through. Really, he's like my number one, and it's a little scary, but yeah, he's a good kid and he's a good player, and I hope I can keep playing with him.
People are going to start making moves, I just don't know when, and I don't know if this weekend is going to be the time where real things are solidified across the tribal lines, and I really do think Hannah's going to try to play both sides, so I'm not totally opposed at this point if I can get something together to get rid of Hannah. I think it might be time. But I'm also not opposed to getting rid of Austin, but Austin also, he says stuff to everybody, so I don't know if he's real about wanting to work with me.
As of right now, I'm not super worried about my position in the game right now, but I am really hoping that there is no chance that Austin has an idol this time around, because I knew for a fact he didn't have it the last tribal council, and I really wanted us to vote him instead of Derek. But I think it really should be this time.
Welcome back, guys, to your final 10 immunity challenge. Jake, I will take both those things back. All right, for today's challenge, you can keep this. Why? Today's challenge, I'm using this buff. Season 3, the Mind Tribe's buff will be on the totem this time around. This will act as immunity for this week once again, similar to Jake's, and also the second idol clue to that idol that you will bequeath onto someone in the game. Alright, are you guys ready to find out your next immunity challenge? Yes. Alright, today's challenge, similar to the Mind Tribe theme, it'll be a puzzle gauntlet. What we have is 4 puzzles. 2 of them you've seen on the actual show of Syrvivor. 2 of them you've seen that we've done. That said, we'll go 10 to 8, 8 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to eventually the winner. So there'll be 4 puzzles in total. You guys first take out your phones and download puzzle cluster from Syrvivor. And go to the 8-piece slide puzzle. Do not press anything from that. Just go on this loading page. This will be your first puzzle. The first 8 that complete will move on to the next round. The 2 that don't is eliminated from this competition and will not have immunity. That said, for this puzzle, that brown square that you see on top, you have to get it into the green area. This was shown on a season of Syrvivor. I should have it in my notes, but I don't. Survivor's ready, go. Moving the little pieces. Mitch and Jake both move on. We're looking for 6 more people. Cam good? Yes. Cam is good. That is 3. That one is good, that's 4. We're looking for 4 more people. That is good. We're looking for 3 more people. Anna, Gabby, Jack, Abby, Austin. Always blocked. Yep, and it's good. 2 more people between Austin, Abby, Jack, and Gab. Still having trouble moving the pieces.
It won't move.
You're gonna keep looking.
I feel so dumb. I feel so dumb doing these things.
I'm so good at the other kind of slide puzzle. I got excited.
What is the other kind?
Like when it makes a picture.
I'm trying so hard. I want everyone to know that I'm trying really hard here.
There's something I am not seeing.
So I think I have it. I don't.
I thought you were the puzzle guy.
I can't do slide puzzles.
I thought I was gonna make a skip on it.
Am I allowed to like reset my puzzle? Like, can I just start over? Because I think I'm like.
Yeah, everyone who's still in, you can start over if you want.
I don't want to.
I don't want to start over.
Because I worked to get it back to the original so I could do that.
I kind of knew I wasn't going to win that. I'm not good at puzzles at all, so I figured somebody else would win.
Oh, I got it! I got it! What?
No clapping. I'm not done yet.
One more.
I feel like that's just how it goes.
And Austin is through. Jack, Abby. Yes, has been eliminated.
How did you do it so
I want to
fast?
see the answer.
For this one, we're going down to 4. So half of you will be eliminated after this one.
Okay.
Got a turntable puzzle. This was also on a Survivor season. Not sure which one. But basically, what you have to do, the background color should correspond with the ball. So you have to move around the balls. There's one empty column. Move around the balls so that all the balls match the background color. Survivor's ready? Go.
You swipe left.
We'll figure it out.
It's at the middle.
Oh.
Just to help everybody.
So we're getting the same colored ball and the same colored ball.
Still do the slide.
Me too. You get a system down. That's the trick. Done.
Oh, not that.
This is here. Yep, Mitch is through. Looking for 3 others.
Done.
Cam is through. Yep, Cam is also through. Looking for 2 more.
Hands are shaking.
Cam and Mitch moving to second.
Wait, I think I got it. I think I'm done. No, never mind.
Done.
Austin makes it through for this round. We're looking for 1 more between Jake, Kat, Anna, and Gabby and Owen. And 1 more.
Done.
Oh no.
And Jake is through, which means Kat, Owen, Gabby, Hannah. This puzzle we've done in season 2 prior. You will be completing your logo in jigsaw format. There's 30 pieces in this jigsaw puzzle. You'll just be completing your logo. First 2 to finish, we'll move on to the final round. Drivers ready? Go. Challenge is on.
When everyone else in my alliance dropped out, I was like, well, I guess it's down to me.
Frosty did this puzzle in his season. Like that.
Oh my
Jake
god.
moves on. Looking for 1 more. Looking for 1 more. And Mitch goes through as well.
I know.
First and second place again. Austin just a hair off.
Not
Jake, Mitch, you've made it through the entirety of the gauntlet to this point. This is the final part. You guys were the final 2 last time. Right back here. We're looking for a 3-word puzzle somewhat related to Syrvivor.
The dreaded word puzzle.
Drivers ready? Go. Make sure you have all puzzle pieces out of the bag. Make sure you have 10 letters as well. Confused on any letters as well.
Didn't spell orange this time.
I was like freaking out, but then I saw 2 T's and I was like, you know, you're not gonna get a lot. I didn't see a Y, so there wasn't anything Syrvivor or Syracuse.
Done. Say it.
Trust no one.
Mitch, wins immunity. Just like that was the puzzle gauntlet. And for this bandana is the Mind Tribes, similar to the theme. Mitch, congratulations, come on up here. Mitch, you are immune this week and a 1 in 9 chance to win this game. As well as winning immunity, you'll also have an opportunity to grant a clue, the second clue to that idol, to someone in the game.
Cam, I love you. You can get the clue.
Alright, Cam will be receiving that after today. Tribal Council, Mitch is safe. One of you guys will be the 11th person voted out of this game. Grab your stuff. That's all I have for you.
So I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't do better because I felt really close on the puzzles that I did do.
Obviously, I would have loved to have won on immunity, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like there's definitely a target on my back for doing well in the last 2 challenges.
Jake, hopefully I thought could win, but Mitch won. He's definitely more of a player than I thought, so props to Mitch.
This thing right here. Oh my god, I am ecstatic right now.
Mitch winning immunity is cool. I'm glad that he gets to stick around for a little bit longer because I know people are gonna start coming after him now that his grace period is over.
Trust no one, you know. Hopefully I will be able to trust people, but I'm just gonna enjoy this, and I'm excited to tell some people who put me back in this game. You know, I'm making them proud, that's what I think, so.
Happy for Mitch. I mean, he's kicked ass in both these challenges, so he's definitely something to watch out for.
It does make me worried for some of the bigger targets on the villains like Jake and Jack.
Fingers crossed they don't find the idol, which complicates a lot of things in the future, which is really bad for me.
Biggest concern obviously is the idol this week, and finding out what we want, and obviously I'm vulnerable now, so, you know, gonna go idol hunting, I guess, and see what I can find.
So for the idol clue, you know, there are some villains who I'm talking to, but there's no one I really trust enough to, you know, give it and want to build that yet. So I'm hoping Cam will share that back with me. Huge fan of Cam. If she doesn't, you know, I do hope she finds it because I want her to stick around in this game.
This morning I got the first clue from Abby. We were looking right before tribal, and now Cam, who is Mitch's person, as the second clue. So they really we need to team up and we need to get it.
Hey fam, I am stressed. Oh my goodness. I'm ready. Like I'm not like trying to plan to the end. I don't know. I just don't see my path. I don't know. I just feel like too many people are lying to me. So, I don't know. We'll see how tonight goes.
It just seems like there's a lot of people thinking this weekend is talking, and it seems like it's getting around to everyone. And a lot of people are putting themselves in the crosshairs and kind of, you know, putting targets on their own backs by doing that. So I'm just trying to avoid that. And I just really hope that it doesn't like default back to heroes versus villains this week.
Okay, I just had a Zoom meeting with all the villains, and sounds like we're all on the same page to stay villain strong this week.
You know, all I need to do is convince like one or two people at this point that they can use me as a number down the line. There's only gonna be a handful of people from that villain 6 that get to make it to the end if they stay that way. And it's gonna be a really costly mistake if the people, you know, that don't make it to the end out of that 6, it'll be really costly for them to let heroes go if they're not gonna, you know, make it out of the villains. So just about saying the right thing to the right person at the right time. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it as smooth as possible heading into next week if I get to be a part of it.
We are at Final 10. It's a tricky week. It's a really tricky week. Last night, I got a text from Owen that said that Kat had thrown out my name to Jack. So I go and I text him. He's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, Kat threw out my name. Like, did you hear anything about that? And he's like, no, why would I hear anything about that? I'm like, okay, fine. And then he texts me like 5 minutes later and he's like, also, by the way, I heard you throw out my name. And I'm like, what? No, I did not. Basically, Kat took something I said out of context and threw me under the bus. So not vibing with Kat right now. Would love to write her name down as soon as possible.
I get a text from Jack saying that Hannah heard that I was the one throwing her name out. Interesting. When Jack was actually the one who brought up Hannah to me. So when Owen and I were looking for the idol, I was like, you know what, Owen? You know, I'm really thinking about voting for Hannah. I think Jack is on board and the other heroes. Like, I think this could work. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. Like, I think other villains would be on board. This man goes and turns around and tells Hannah that I was the one throwing her name out. Like, so freaking dumb. I don't understand the logic that he would go and tell her. Like what good does that do for you? I am like so mad. I can never trust Owen again. I thought after the cast vote that we could move on and build better trust with each other. No. Done.
Wow. Jack and Hannah are finally coming for each other's necks. And that is just... that's like, it's like nature is healing, you know? The order is restored. They're free. They've liberated themselves from ever having to pretend to like each other. They've lit the fuse. The dynamite is gonna go off, whether it goes off this week or weeks down the line. I don't think they can put it out. When the bomb goes off, none of the shrapnel hits me. But yeah, this week is definitely, oh God, it's getting so fun.
I'm at the end of my rope. I have been looking for this idol with the first clue for about 3.5 hours. I've looked everywhere, and there's a second clue out there.
I look up, basically hand in the cookie jar, and there is Jack and Catherine. And I had known that Jack and Catherine were kind of close to this point. Jack had told me this, but I was like, oh, this is very interesting. And Jack had told me he was with Catherine, so like I wasn't surprised, but I played it off like I was. I was like, hey guys, looking for I'm looking for an idol. They don't think that I have been given the clue, but the thing is, now I've been given the clue by like 3 different people, so it's nothing at this point. And Hannah claims that she doesn't have it, which I know is a lie, and I like, you know, don't trust Hannah very much right now because I know she's lying right to my face, and I do think she's really starting to suspect I have the idol, which is like really scary.
There's gonna be fireworks next week. The Hannah and Jack feud has reached an all-time high, and it's like the Cold War out here. No one, you know, is willing to bend an inch, and Hannah just said, you know, we were talking about whether Kat threw Hannah's name out first or Jack threw Hannah's name out first to Kat, and either way, Hannah's fucking pissed. Hannah's not gonna let that slide, and I'm just gonna keep feeding into her ego.
So I guess there's this divide among the villains between Jack and Hannah, which is really good for us because we're trying to sneak through and just kind of like pitch the idea like at least I have been like, Austin is a threat, Austin is a good player, but we can trust him, and like if people want to vote him out now, people will have no problem voting him out later, but Hannah is just, she causes too much drama and she's lying to everyone's faces over there, so like why would you want to keep her around when she's going to stir things up when we can keep Austin for now and get rid of him later? It's a little frustrating that everyone's like, well, let me see what Jack said. It wouldn't be like, maybe it would be different if they were like, oh, let me see like what everybody's thinking and just get where everyone's at, but everyone's like, oh, it depends if Jack's doing it. This merge idol, I don't think anybody has it, so we'll see if anybody plays anything today, but I don't expect anyone to.
I'm honestly pretty frustrated right now. I'm really on board to vote for Hannah, and Jack is saying that he's really torn about the vote, and that made me really nervous because I talked to him yesterday, and you know, he was the one pitching the idea to me, and I was like, yes, I've been wanting to do this.
Man, I've been doing a lot of work for nothing. The second clue is tough. I've been out here for over 7 hours, really just trying to figure out how I can give myself life in this game. It's really depressing and just really aggravating that I can't find it.
So I haven't found the idol yet, but I found this dinosaur, so I think it's a win-win. Who needs an idol when you have this bad boy? Look at that. Look at that dinosaur.
I mean, when has anyone ever cried over Syrvivor? You know, it's like, I'm like very emotional about it. It's very disappointing that I've been out here for so long with no luck. And I just don't understand what I'm not doing correctly to find this thing.
I have a Syrvivor conspiracy theory. You notice those buffs that Luke is handing out for like individual immunity wins? He first handed them out during the transitional tribe week when the 4 them won the beer pong challenge, and then I was also given one. It's like this lavender bandana. And then we saw another one again when Jake won first immunity and he got an orange bandana. And then when Mitch got his bandana, Luke was like, keep that, Jake. And then he gave Mitch a yellow bandana. What kind of rainbow are we creating? What is this?
Okay, so I don't really think I have any reason to be nervous about this tribal council, but I'm a little bit nervous. Just a little bit nervous. For one, Austin has a freaky little brain. And he's sending some freaky little texts to everybody but me.
All right, we are squarely in the middle of the craziest week of Survivor that I've ever been a part of. My time in the game probably should be fleeting, but alas, I have some last-minute tricks up my sleeve to make it not be the case. Just in case, I came up with this idea last night because of just the widespread fear at the start of the game that someone found an advantage from the first challenge with the random clue that was sent out about Bird Library. My idea last night was just fake a legacy advantage that could be played at 10 or 6. We're at 10 now. I was going to play it for myself or whoever the target was going to be.
I don't exactly know where the chips are going to fall. I think everyone's telling everyone everything, and the theme of the season seems to be nobody can keep a secret very well.
After this week, there's going to be no more villain strong. It's going to be end game moves and backstabbing. With the more chaos, the better. I thrive in that shit.
Alright, so tribal's in an hour. I'm like considering writing Hannah's name down, even though I told myself I wouldn't lie to her and vote her out like I did last time.
We'll see how tonight goes. I don't know. We'll see.
Welcome back, Moru Tribe. We'll now welcome in the one member of your jury, Derek, voted out in the last tribal council. Alright, so let's get into it. Mitch, you're safe tonight. How was that challenge, and how does it feel to be safe in this tribe?
It was a fun challenge. I was not expecting to do that well in puzzles. I feel like I got a little lucky in the last one. The way they just fell out of the bag just kind of played itself out. Yeah, I'm glad to be safe.
Cam, Mitch, where's Cam? Cam, Mitch gave you the idol clue. How does it feel to be getting that idol clue as well? Do you think it's going to target on your bet that you got the second idol clue to a new idol?
It definitely could 100%. I think that's kind of like, we didn't really have a breakdown accuracy last week, but like, that's kind of just the same thing. So hopefully that's not true and we don't go from this. But it's definitely a little bit of a target on my back.
Gabby, what is the talk around camp with items? Have people been searching for them? Have people been kind of lax? Crazy?
Yeah, some people have definitely been searching for them. Some definitely more than others. I personally don't have a read on the idol hunt right now. I think that a lot of people have spent a lot of time looking for it, and I don't know if you've just gotten really, really good at hiding it, or a lot of people around here are really good at hiding stuff too.
So Hannah, where do we stand in this game right now? Do you think it's still heroes villains split down the middle, or do you think little forms or little groups are forming within those two divisions?
I mean, I think this game is different than like my last season because everyone kind of talks to everyone, so it's definitely more complicated than that. But I think, I personally trust the people I've spent more time with, and I've had more time to prove my trust with, and like vice versa. Because I've seen time after time that they've supported me, and so it's much, much easier to trust them than newcomers, right?
Jake, do you agree with that in this season especially, everyone is talking to everyone, so you don't necessarily know until the vote where true lines fall?
Yeah, for sure. And I as much as I think the last vote ended up going down tribal lines, it's very clear that everybody is talking to everybody, and everybody's, making new connections and new relationships. And I mean, especially compared to my first season, like Molly Lepesca got in trouble for talking to everybody at like her first tribal council. So it's kind of weird that at this point it's not only expected, but it's the norm of every single person here. So yeah, everyone's talking to everyone, and there's definitely relationships, and I guess we'll see how this factors in when the votes go up tonight.
Austin, with everyone talking to everyone, do you think that provides a little hope that you can build on those relationships with the villains, saying that it won't be chopped all the way?
I mean, you'd hope so, especially when you spend the first half of this game trying to show them that it's not heroes versus villains, just so that maybe you get to this point where numbers flip from 9-6 heroes to 6-4 villains, keep on to that. I mean, you hope you can fall back on them. I've talked to everybody this week. I think something was going to happen today, but I'm not scared.
So Owen, at the end of the day, with the 6 villains, 6 people can't win. Have you started to see cracks in the villains, or do you think you guys are still a strong unit?
I mean, we're definitely some kind of unit. I don't know if we're as solid as we have been the past few weeks, and I feel like some cracks have definitely started to show just as people are thinking more about the end game and themselves than the team doing well as a whole. So yeah, like Jake said, it'll be interesting to see how these new relationships play in the votes and whether people stick with the comfortable lines they've been in or try new things.
Kat, what's your reaction to that? Some kind of unit. Do you think relationships are forming from hero-villain and it's not clear cut?
I think so. I think we've had a lot of time over the past few weeks to get to know people, and I would hope that, eventually we'll stray away from that and go with people we trust.
Austin, in a season like this, everyone's pretty much a threat. What does a big threat in this game look like?
And not throwing them under the bus, but we all know this. Everyone's mentioned their names this week. I looked out for them. I hope they look out for me tonight. But it's not a surprise to see people saying the same names over and over again and then throwing them under the bus for no reason.
So, you pointed at Jake?
I pointed at Jake, Owen, Jack.
Jack?
They've been thrown out.
What's your view on that? Do you think your name's just being thrown out as a potential option every single week?
I'm not throwing them out. I want them to.
No, I meant like as an override threat. Like, do you think you're a threat throughout this entire game? That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked I'm here still. But I guess these people like playing with me. Yeah, I know what Austin's trying to say. Obviously, he's a threat. He's a really good player. I think him pointing at me, that's not an issue. I think he's just stating the obvious, and I mean, I'm embracing that. I'm not really afraid to be a so-called threat in this game.
So Hannah, with keeping these threats in the game this far, I mean, it depends on if you keep them or if you target them. What does that do for the rest of this game moving forward?
I mean, it sets the tone, just state it simply, but it's also pretty subjective. Every single member of the jury is going to have their own version of what the best form of gameplay is. And that's Austin's version of who he thinks is playing the best at this given moment, or who has the biggest threat level.
So, Gabby, how has this week been? Was it pure chaos, or was it wait until the last minute to settle out?
I think there was a little bit more of the chaos element this week than weeks past. I personally was kind of busy earlier in the week, and it was kind of hard to sift through a lot that had already happened. But I'm just hoping. I think that's everybody kind of getting very anxious as the game progresses. But I don't know how the dust is going to settle.
Oh, and I have to mention it. Before Derek went, when he went, he called out you for lying. Do you think that has a lasting effect over everyone here?
I mean, it definitely does. Everything is subjective in this game. Austin thinks I'm a threat. I think at this point, everyone can be considered a threat. I mean, if you made it this far in the game, you're clearly playing, clearly, thinking beyond just yourself and what you want to do this week. And I think as people start to think about the future more, everything is factored in. And yeah, it didn't feel good to be thrown under the bus like that. It's just Survivor. I mean, I hope people don't take things personally, but it's just a game.
So Jake, do you think this is a clear-cut vote, or do you think someone's going to be blindsided?
I feel like all of us are kind of on edge, so I don't really feel like anyone's going to be blindsided tonight. I mean, I don't at the same time, I don't really know what the hell is about to happen. What was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
No, you answered it.
Okay.
So Austin, you said your name was out there. Do you think it could be you tonight?
Yeah, it could have been me anyway, but this is the one that has gotten back to me. So I'm not scared of it. I mean, it haven't happened, but I know what I offer as far as player and ally and people I've talked to. They know what they're getting with me. There are some people here who don't know what you're getting at all. So I haven't heard anyone on the bus once. I play. Some people do.
Raise of hands, who feels in danger tonight to be going home? Other than Mitch, because of course he's safe. But everyone, I'm assuming Abby as well. Cam, what does that say about the season that everyone is pretty much on edge, as you said?
I mean, I don't look at myself as a player. I feel like I was brought into this all-star season never playing before, so this was my first time. So like, I was on edge last week, and I think every time that I don't have a major league, I'm going to be on edge. So you never know.
And Abby, being that you saw your votes last time we were here with them to see the script, do you think it could be you getting the target tonight?
Literally anything could happen tonight because I think it's been the most chaotic couple days of Survivor yet. So I really don't know what's going to happen. Obviously didn't like seeing my name written down. I knew it was going to be, but you know, it's never going to be.
And Mitch, how will this vote impact the latter half of this game? This is 10 to the halfway point pretty much. We're going into 9. How will this impact or set the tone for the rest of this game?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's definitely going to set the tone about working with who, and hopefully it'll say how the next few votes are going to go.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Are we going to vote now?
Yes.
Yeah, before we vote. I don't think. I hope I don't get this, but it would suck if it was in. Congratulations, you have found a legacy. This note can be used similar to a hidden video, but you can only use it once. There are 10 people left in the game, or when there are only 6 people left in the game. If you're voted out, you use your disadvantage to the player still in the game from any tribe. This will sound like Eli beat one, I believe. Will to Derek, who voted to me with his exit last week. I will be using this tonight. This isn't to blackmail anyone. You know what my plan is. I'm just being transparent. If you think this is a bluff, I'll pass it around. I encourage you to vote for me if that's the case. If you chatter, I'll play it for what he said. But I've given you guys everything I have. So I'm going to drop it. I'm going to give this to Luke for him to add to who I play for, who I vote for Ed, and who I'm not returning to me.
So,
That's it.
So Austin, who do you want to play this for?
I want to play it for myself. After the vote.
So, with this advantage, it states that I will announce whether it is real or not after the votes are read. Therefore, I will announce that then. So, you guys can open the votes and proceed. Anyone else have anything else to say? Alright. Mitch, you're first. Behind the wall.
You crack me up, man. I hope you fucking go home.
What the fuck is going on?
This was the most chaotic week ever. This is out of my control at this point.
I don't feel bad about this.
road to Revis just filed first vote out immediately. Before that, Austin came up and wanted to play this. Austin did not still stand, he wanted to play this. Has this legacy advantage, which grants Austin the medal to put out himself, is not big. Which means all votes casted for Austin will still count. That said, if anyone plans to use a immunity idol or an advantage, now is the time to do so. Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote. Hannah. Austin. Hannah. Austin. It's 2 votes Hannah, 2 votes Austin, 6 votes left. Fifth vote. Hannah. Austin. Tied again. 3 votes Hannah, 3 votes Austin, 4 votes left. Austin. Austin. Last vote. The 11th person going out of this game, the second member of our jury, Austin. Austin, you can come up.
2, 3.
First time, try this one. Alright guys, another person that joined the jury, a person that was a winner. So at this point, we have a new winner in our hands. That's it, we're down to 9. The game is getting thinner and thinner as we speak. That's how. That's all I have for you. That's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next challenge.
Next time on Syrvivor.
You guys ready to figure out today's challenge? With that fall, dizzy bag.
We are in the merge, and at some point, you do have to make a move. It's time to play this fucking game. It's time to take this island.
I don't think I can just keep letting Jake make the decisions. I don't know who else to talk to.
12th person voted out for Syrvivor Syracuse, here's first villains, 3rd member of our jury.
I mean, I'm not disappointed or surprised.
I hope that's real, and I would love to keep playing with you.
You're just too good, and you're too smart, and I'd rather keep Hannah in the game over you because she'll just do more shit that'll be easier to vote her off later. If I give you any chance to stay in the game, you'll win.
I was never afraid of getting voted out. When I come back if I was.
The worst that happens is Hannah gets sent home. I hope they're not going for me.
I appreciate the effort and I appreciate the bluff, and I wish it didn't have to happen this way, but it's just, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Emotional terrorist.
I think some people made some big mistakes today, though. I think, I don't know, I'm excited to not vote for some people at the end, that's for sure.